Hey Veracity, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl VeraMoore and I am back with another reaction video. Today I'm going to be reacting to Douglas Murray. It's been a while reacted to Douglas on this channel. So if you haven't seen any of my reactions to Douglas Murray, click the link above. And this is Douglas with his Islamic videos. Douglas and the Muslims, they've been going on and on with this debate, and it is actually enjoyable, hearing his own point of view, hearing from the Muslims and all of that. So guys, I honestly cannot wait to get into this one. And this is from Critic Quest, and it is titled Name One Islamic State you would want to live in. Douglas Murray triggers Muslims. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Douglas Murray is about to trigger Muslims. Oh my goodness, can't wait to dive into the video. But before we get started, we have some amazing people watching us for the first time. If you are new to the channel, hello, I'm Vera. I do reaction videos. It is something that you love. Why not join Veracity? Hit the subscribe button below, turn on the post notification bell so that you can always be the first person to know whenever any video drops. And with that, guys, let's go.
You don't have to go very far in Britain or the West in general at the moment to find people's unwillingness to assert the superiority of their values. But they know the superiority of their values because they live with the superiority of their values. I talk at a lot of campuses, and I was at one last night in London where a student got up and started protesting because I had said that an Islamist government was of itself a bad thing, which I think it is. I just said to this student, and it's not a hard question you'd have thought to ask, I just said, well, name me one Islamist government state that you would want to live in.
Hold on to your hats, folks. This debate is about to get explosive. You're about to witness a clash of civilizations, a battle for the very soul of the West. On one side, we have Douglas Murray, a fearless champion of Western values, unafraid to speak truth to power. On the other, a chorus of voices seeking to undermine the very foundations of the society that allows them to express their dissent. Get ready for fireworks.
And this is a serious question, ladies and gentlemen. It is also a personal question, and one which, if people were honest, they would admit is personal. As a gay man, there's not a country that's run by Muslims which I could live in. One of my best friends is in hiding again tonight, Diane Hirsi Ali, because of what she says, and she'd be killed if she went to any Muslim country. And I think that matters. And I think the way in which it affects our personal lives does matter, and we should not ignore it. We have the great blessing of living under this system, and we take it for granted, and we spit on it, and we can because we're living in that freedom. But I beg you, ladies and gentlemen, not to pretend that that means that we shouldn't assert the superiority of that system, because that is what it is. It is a superior system.
And a culture, if there is such a thing as a cohesive Western culture, which gave the 20th century 2 world wars, in which nearly 100 million people died, in which 6 million people were sent to death camps, by the Germans and many more by the Russians. A culture which can do that really must be superior if it can point a finger at others and claim its moral superiority.
Mr. Glass treated us to a textbook example of Western masochism. And I know some people in the hall enjoy that, because some people laughed and clapped when he cited Western civilization and epitomized it by what? World War, Nazism, Abu Ghraib, Guantanamo. Ladies and gentlemen, if you believe that the West should be treated and regarded only as something which is treated by its lowest moments, and believe that all other cultures and all other civilizations should be treated only by their highest moments, you're already putting in an unequal challenge here.
We are for principles, rule of law, equal citizenship, accountability, universal suffrage and separation of power. These are the indisputable principles, but let the people find their model. Don't come with your model to impose it onto them. Okay?
Professor Ramadan argues that we should allow people to find their own model, not impose ours on them. This sounds noble on the surface, but let's peel back the layers of this argument. Firstly, he's implying that Western values are somehow exclusive to the West, a mere cultural preference rather than universal truths. This is a dangerous fallacy. The principles of free speech, individual liberty, and democratic governance are not Western inventions. They are the hard-won fruits of centuries of human struggle for a just and equitable society. Secondly, Professor Ramadan conveniently ignores the fact that many in the Muslim world are actively yearning for these very values. Look at the brave women in Iran risking their lives for the right to choose what they wear. Look at the courageous journalists in Turkey silenced for daring to speak truth to power. Are we to stand idly by and tell them, sorry, you need to find your own model? Our silence is not neutrality, it is complicity in their oppression. But wait, there's more. This debate is about to take a sharp turn. You won't believe what happens next.
Professor Ramadan is doing is the reverse side of what I hear a lot of conservative right-wing politicians doing now, which is effectively we just have to give them a lot of time. You tend now to hear the thing about people needing their own reformation, Islam being 600 years younger and all this kind of thing. I recently heard exactly the same thing as Professor Ramadan was saying, uttered by Norman Lamont, Baron Lamont of Tehran. He said exactly the same thing. But they need time. Tariq Ramadan said it's going to take time. How much time, ladies and gentlemen? I don't think we have time. And I would beg Professor Ramadan to go around the Muslim world explaining to women in Saudi Arabia they can look forward to freedom in 600 years' time. And that gay people in the Muslim world can look forward to having their first meaningful relationship 6 centuries from now.
So send the troops, please. Send the troops in Saudi Arabia, not in Iraq and not in Iran. In Saudi Arabia.
Oh my goodness, Douglas Murray. Like, honestly, I agree with him 101%. Like, I cannot even name one Muslim country I would want to live in. Like, I cannot say I want to live in an Islam country because they are too rigid. They are too strict with their laws. Like, this Sharia law thing. I cannot even say I want to go to Islamic countries because they are so rigid. I don't even know how to explain it, but it is just insane. Let's go on, guys.
Do it and promote them. Promote Saudi Arabia, not Iraq. Why are you not asking the troops to go to Saudi Arabia because of geostrategic?
Just one moment, please.
Oh my God.
It's not about Islam, as the lady said so rightly at the back. What about Buddhism? What about Confucianism? All these other systems. I think the key one has to bear in mind is, for all that we have to be proud of the West, I believe it is in the arrogant and forceful association of the superiority of Western values that we have consistently undermined all that is most precious in our civilization.
Why we compare them with Muslim values, I agree with the lady. We could have focused on Buddhist values. We could have focused on any other types of values. The reason why it kept on coming back to it is, as you know, because this is the matter of our time. And it is not hard at the moment to notice the calls for the different type of societies that people want to create. And that there is a clear difference. And I hope, ladies and gentlemen, when you vote for the right side tonight, you make this clear. There is a difference between the Western states which practice their own values that we sometimes mistakenly call Western values. And yes, we should call them liberal values. And yes, we should call them universal values, but we identify them with the West because they came from the West, because they were nurtured in the West. If we do not assert our values, ladies and gentlemen, who will? Who will assert them across the Muslim world? Who are the reformers in the Muslim world going to look to when they want to see and desperately need separation of church and state? If we do not say, if we do not assert and state that we believe that is the best way to live, who is going to do it in the Muslim world? Who is going to feel emboldened to do it? And Urshid Manji said a few weeks ago when she was in London, said this: if you give up on us, if you give up on yourselves, people like me are dead. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we should take that call seriously. To assert the superiority of Western values is to state the obvious. It's to have faith in ourselves, and it's to have faith in other people. Thank you.
Murray makes a crucial point. If we don't stand up for our values, who will? This is not about imposing our way of life on others. It's about defending the principles that have allowed us to create the most free and prosperous societies in human history. The reformers in the Muslim world, those risking their lives for basic freedoms, are looking to the West for inspiration and support. They are not asking for a Western model. They are demanding the universal values that the West has championed for centuries. If we abandon our principles out of fear of being labeled arrogant, we betray not only ourselves, but also those fighting for freedom around the world.
Oh my goodness, that was a lot. So he asked someone, name one Islamic country, name one Islamic state you'd love to live in, and the person couldn't give him an answer. You watching this video, name one Islamic state you would love to live in. I, for one, I would never want to live in an Islamic state. I would never want to live in any Islamic country because the Muslims, they see themselves, I don't know, but I feel like they see themselves as being so perfect. Once they come into any place, they want to dominate the area, they want to take over, they want to take charge. They feel like their religion is the one and only religion, is the best religion, you know, and all of those things. Although I do not believe in gayism, lesbianism. Those are not my thing, those are not my style. And so even if you are gay, you cannot even go to an Islamic country. But they would always want to come to a Christian country to come and dominate. And it is just crazy. And they practice this, that Sharia law and all of those. I don't have anything against the Muslims. Like I would always say, I have Muslim friends. But the truth is that some Muslims are just too extreme. They take things too far. They're too extreme. They believe they are just the best. I don't know what they have in their head or whatever, but it is insane. What do you guys think about this video? What Islamic country would you live in? Can you just tell me one? For me, it is a no. I cannot live in an Islamic country. I cannot, because my life would be at risk. It would be at danger. Okay, yeah. My brother, when he wanted to go to high school, he went to an Islamic school. And he couldn't stay long in that school. We had to take him out. Like my parents had to take him out. In that school, you cannot even mention God. They must not catch you praying in a Christian way. You cannot mention God. You cannot mention Jesus. You'll be sanctioned. It's crazy. But in a Christian school, we used to do Muslim prayers on Fridays. Like, do you get it? It is crazy. What are your thoughts? What do you guys think? Drop a comment down below. I totally enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this video as much as I did, give it a huge thumbs up. And if you are new to this channel, join VeraCity. Hit the subscribe button below, turn on the post notification bell so that you can always be the first person to know whenever a new video drops. And that's, guys, see you in my next video. Bye, guys.